私はプロハンターのビスケットクルーガー。
Hello, we're back.
We are back
Negro jump.
again
Yeah.
with professional takes this time.
Very professional. Shout out to Krishna.
Can't tell us we ain't gonna make it in Hollywood.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, we're back as always. I'm Gerard, and
I'm Cordero.
this is Negro Jump. We got another special edition here. We got Mary,
Mary in the building.
head of Asian Crush.
Whoa. You just like jumped my title way up.
Hey, we gotta do it for us. We gotta get us up. You know what I mean?
I see nobody else here.
I see two people back here.
Yeah, I see you got people working for you.
No. I work. The company Digital Meteorites. Our brands include Asian Crush and of course Retro Crush. And so I am in charge of content acquisition, so I go out and find content to acquire for our own channels.
AKA nothing gets done unless she says.
Yup. She got the stamp of approval.
Right. That's right.
But you just get tons of clips like, get out of here, that's mediocre.
That's trash. That's garbage. Nobody knows what that is.
Where the main character at? Who's he side?
Ain't no plot.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of this and a little bit.
Seen this before. He got spiky head and yells all the time. What is this?
Step your game up.
Nah, she was the voice in the last episode we did with Chris Deshawn, the Retro Crush. So yeah,
So we swap roles now. Chris is on the side here.
Chris is in the
He's
back.
shy, so he's not
hanging
really
out.
saying anything now.
Hanging out, and with us always is my man Krishna on the ones and twos.
Yes.
Hanging out. He made that video so great the first time, so he had to come back. We had to have him back, and it's been cool. And he equipped us with a little bit of I got
Gotta
that
beat
drink
that
in my cup. Nigga Kurt Cobain.
They ain't sponsoring nothing.
They would though. This would be the one time.
They let us do an anime short.
Hey, I mean,
Sponsored by.
this is like you could do it as like an audition and be like, "Hey, sponsor."
Oh yeah, quick plug. Shout. Nah, no, Mary. I'm excited about this because I love talking to women of color about anime. Because, as I said before, I had no idea y'all existed.
Well, I mean, we are magical, so I guess that makes sense.
This is true. This is very true. What did you first of all? Where are you from originally?
New York. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm from Ohio.
Okay. She's
Oh, yeah.
from Ohio.
I'm
Okay.
from Ohio, Akron, Ohio. LeBron.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's really all we're known for now is
Midwest.
LeBron.
I mean, how long
Fine.
have you been in New York? Because I know after certain years, they're just like you're in New York.
I want to say like it has to be over 10 years.
You're in New York. Yeah, they say like 10 years is like a.
Yeah, I came here in college doing internships. I spent like almost a year, and then I went home, and then I was like, ooh, everything closes at 8. There's no seamless. What are you gonna do on a Friday night? Oh, you know.
Same two spots.
Yeah, same two spots.
Yeah.
No, so as soon as I graduated, I was like, I cannot stay in Ohio. I need to like get out. So I moved back to New York. So I've been here. I've been working here for 10 years. So I want to say maybe 11 years, not counting like the internships and stuff.
Got you.
So it's been a while. It's been a minute.
Got you.
When you came and you thought maybe like this was something you'd be interested in, how long did it take you to find like the community of people? Because we noticed that like within probably like the first 6 months of starting this podcast that there's a whole subculture. It's its own culture in its own right. Like how long do you think it took you to?
I mean, I don't know, because like when I moved here, I was doing graphics for a company which I shall not name. And I was looking for another gig, something that like sparked my interest. And at the time I was into Asian movies, any kind of Asian movies, specifically like Japanese movies and Korean movies. So I found an ad on Craigslist for this job, And at the time, they were really only doing Asian stuff. So I was like, you know what? That's my job. I'm gonna do it. And through that, like I don't know, like it just kind of sprawled from there, and we started doing more and more stuff. And anime, like I've always been into it. As far as like finding people here, once I started actually like getting involved with work and going out more, like it wasn't too bad. I will say though that as far as like, you know, Black women that like anime, I don't know why it's such like a rarity, or why it's thought that. I would say like the internet. I mean, I guess it's helped more because of internet, having being able to be online,
being connected.
Yeah,
people like you.
Yeah.
That's how I met all my friends in New York. One person, our IT guy, Ty. I met him online because we were talking about Japanese, learning Japanese, and we met up to do language study. And through him, I met all my other friends.
Do you know Japanese?
I'm not good at it, but I studied it. No, and we're not doing that ask me on the spot thing.
No, I ain't gonna do it. No, I ain't about to ask you to recite them. Actually,
I did that in an interview once, and I froze because I was like, oh my god, they asked me, and I just said some random shit, and they actually thought it was real. They were like, oh.
It's a bit I've been saying on stage where I disappointed this waitress in a sushi bar because like I read something so well. She was like, "Oh, you speak really good Japanese." I'm like, "Thank you. I watch a lot of anime."
Well, their level of respect.
Yeah, she's like,
Take that back. Well, oddly enough, it's funny if you ever go to Japan and you speak any kind of Japanese, they're like, and you know you're not good when they do that. It's just like, because it's like that thing
they're
of where,
surprised.
they're surprised. But when you start saying it and you get the reaction where they're just like, and they start talking to you, that's when you know you're good at Japanese.
Okay.
That's just a note.
Okay.
But yeah, like you say anything, you say like sushi. It's like the smallest things. You could say something and it's just like, they're like, "Oh, you're so good. How did you learn?" I'm like, "I just said one word."
Like being impressed when like a white person listen to like the Black album or something. Anything past beyond what's like actually popular. Yeah. That would be my reaction. Like, the hell do you know about this? What's in this for?
It's a deep cut.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think internet was key to like finding people that like the same stuff that you do, and have the same interests. And yeah, I think now it's in even now, like 2020, it's so. I don't study, but I use Twitter and Facebook a lot for work. But I see like there's so many people of color that, especially women of color, that are out here trying to like, make us known.
Shout out to Frankie.
Shout out to Frankie.
Shout out to Black Ramen Podcast.
Yeah.
Those
two are
really
the other two that we've met up, who also run their own like podcast, content creation, and they're in the same vein. It's just like we didn't know you were that heavy into it, and it's not even like it feels so organic. It's like, oh, this was in your life.
And they carry the same energy. It's not like, I watch it. It's just like, nah, for real.
It's like they're in deep in that hole of anime. I'm not that deep, although they will say that I am. I am like the resident person. I think our old boss would go to markets and he would tell clients, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is Mary. Yeah, she likes anime. She cosplays." I'm like,
Why would you tell them?
Why would you? Yeah.
Well, no, not that. I actually don't cosplay. I respect people that do it, but I can't cosplay.
100%.
But and then he'd just be telling people that they're like, "Oh."
It hit me too. My first convention I went to, I was just like, where am I at? What is going on?
Yeah.
And then really understanding that it's like, I'm so surface level. I watch it. I enjoy it. I got some couple t-shirts. Actually, I don't even know if I got actual anime like shirts.
I got a couple. I got like 2 or 3.
A couple.
Them Hot Topic sales.
Yeah, Hot Topic, yeah.
Oh man, I remember. I bet those employees probably didn't know what was going on. Well, I just randomly walk in there because like it was a I think it was like first like a Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That T-shirt caught my attention. I'm like, what is this? Because they started putting stuff up that like we used to watch as a kid. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, all right, I caught these sales.
Do you think Hot Topic knew that like it's like, oh, we need more black clientele. Like, all right,
Oh, definitely.
all right, let's get that power line T-shirt in here. Let's get.
Remember that Spencer's?
First
Remember that
five.
Spencer's we walked into?
Yeah.
They were playing. I think they were playing like trap first.
Yeah.
That's what drew us. No. First they had rap snacks.
Where was that at? We were in DC for that? No. That was
I
what?
think we were in Raleigh.
We were in Raleigh for that one. Yeah, we went to like a mall in Raleigh.
Yeah, they had rap snacks towards the front. It was like, oh, it's not. And then we walked in. It was like, oh, it's Spencer's. And then they were playing trap music, and we were looking at the shirts. And then they played. It had to have been like some type of anime opening song.
That's
I
how
was
it
just,
gets you.
and well, see, that's what they thought. Because I checked out immediately. I was just like, I'm out. I can't. I need.
They were
visuals.
trying. They were trying.
Yeah. They know who their audience is now.
Because it
But
was like, oh, they got Spider-Man with the kanji on the side of it, and then
Yeah.
immediately that was the next turn. It was like,
exactly. Yeah, if you put kanji on stuff, then black people will definitely
we'll fuck with
cop.
it.
Yeah, definitely. What did you start out watching, anime, cartoon wise, as a kid?
My first answer would be Sailor Moon, but actually, I remember going to Blockbuster. I'm showing my age right now.
Shout out Blockbuster. Hey,
your mom's-
Blockbuster.
Yeah, your mom's
Oh, okay.
fellow.
Yeah.
I remember the Game
Blockbuster.
Pass.
We're not
Buy
Gen-
2
we're not
games
Gen
for once a
Zs.
month.
Yeah. We know what a VHS tape is.
No, but
Hitting the block on Friday night, trying to
Yeah.
bowl niggas over to get to that last copy of fucking You Mean Dupree.
fight people in here for real.
Oh, man.
No, but my mom would be like, you can get one movie, or we would get a movie, and then like I would beg her to get a video game because I only had like a Nintendo, and my mom was like, I'm not buying all these games, so we'd rent them, and then I would just wander into the back of the Blockbuster where all the action movies are, and then I see animated stuff, and I'm like, why is this here, not like in the kids section? And I'd be looking at the covers, and some of it's like, what's going on? I don't understand why.
Right.
It looks like a cartoon,
Looks
but
like a
it's-
cartoon,
it's
but you're
not.
like, there's a lot of blood on the cover.
Very dramatic. Somebody's making a real confident pose.
All them girls
Yeah.
with big ass guns and shit.
Like they have like very little clothing on it. I'm
Yeah.
just like, why? But I don't remember which one I initially like picked up and started watching, but I remember renting Ramna 1/2, and I remember, I don't know, it's like maybe a couple episodes on one disc. And I was like, oh, this looks like fun. Ooh, I'm gonna watch this. And then I remember renting that one, and my mom was like, oh, well, it looks like a cartoon, so whatever, you can watch it. And it's like, oh, it's like an anime. It's animation, but like, oh, you can see boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I like, my domain was the basement in our house. Like that was my spot. I could just watch my VHS and play my video games in peace. And I remember just watching that show, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't a story I'd seen before. So I remember going back to Blockbuster and trying to find the rest of the Ramna tapes, and then Vampire Princess Miyu. That's the old '80s one, and that was actually pretty violent. And I remember taking the tape, and I'm telling my mom, "Oh, I want to watch this one." She's like, "Is this for kids?" Yeah.
Sure.
Mom, it's animation. Mom,
It's cartoons. You don't watch this.
Yeah.
So she wasn't like policing it heavily, but she was just like, okay, we'll watch that. But yeah, I started off with kind of like that, and then when Toonami hit, I watched Sailor Moon, which was like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm wearing.
I don't know if I
Sailor Moon
remember
shirt
that
now.
lineup. I think it was was it second? Because I think Dragon Ball Z was first. I want to say right. I think because they had to come out of the gate.
Either way, it was just
The-
Toonami. A couple of people uploaded like a whole hour video on YouTube
From just all Toonami stuff.
I got
yeah,
one.
like the
like
ads.
Tsunami bumps. Yeah, and I was just like, wow, they just sold anime to American audiences.
No, I have a block of Cartoon Network that's like those recordable VHS tapes.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm showing my age too. You could just put it in, and if you set it up right, you could just record live
That's
TV.
what I did. I went.
And
Yep.
I think I had a Toonami block. It's probably at my sister's house, but yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here just rewatching. It was it was the episode on like Frieza Saga when they first put Kakarot in the pod because he got fucked up in Ginyu. Yeah. And it was just cooling for like 2 episodes.
Yeah, it takes like 5 episodes to get to the fight.
Yeah, it's a lot of build up, anticipation with that stuff.
Yeah, like Toonami hit, and there was some anime that wasn't even on Toonami that came on other channels. I think Fox had something.
Fox
and I
always
watched
played it.
Escaflowne. That's like a Escaflowne.
I just looked up. I just found out that they tried to that Escaflowne is actually a shoujo, but they try to sell it as a shonen anime.
It's I mean, you got your mechas in there, but it is that.
It's a love story.
It is a love story. At the end of the day, it's a love story.
As a kid, it didn't really hit because I was just like, this is cool, but it's something I'm missing.
But they edited heavily. What is that? The channel of 4Kids? I don't remember the name.
4Kids, yeah.
4Kids.
Yeah,
4Kids,
they Harmony Gold
Yeah.
and 4Kids, man. Those you ask anime people now,
They
like
butchered.
old
They
heads,
hate it.
hate
Yeah, they always
hate-
bring up the 4Kids.
Yeah.
Dubs
Dubs
of
and
One
stuff.
Piece.
Yeah. So.
Because like for the guns, they put.
Yeah.
They put corks in it.
Corks.
Yeah.
And then they gave was it Sanji lollipop and stuff?
See, I thought that was hard.
Yeah?
I thought that was cool. This dude, he cooks and then he pulls out a lollipop and then kicks somebody in the face. That's hard. And he's like posing.
I can see that. I can see
he's
that.
posing and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like,
no
yeah,
cigarettes,
my
just a
shit.
lollipop.
Yeah, it was hard.
It's you gotta do what you gotta do, but because US we're so like
It took us a
conservative
minute.
on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It definitely took us a minute.
Yeah, they understood it was just like a bunch of kids in the hood that used it as an escape. Like, cause my mother, she's giving me a lot of karate, like VHS tapes, like a lot of bootlegs, like martial arts videos. And she didn't watch them. She just went to the guy, was like, "You got anything karate?" And he would just give them. And not knowing that it's the most violent shit ever that a 6-year-old shouldn't be watching at all. Like my favorite one was one called the butterfly sword or the butterfly and the sword, and it was over the top dramatic with like dudes flying through trees and stuff. And it was a woman. she fought. She would use like the fabric of her clothes and like she would make it like harden it and it would be just all live action. And like use it as a pole. Yeah. She made herself into a human bow, and then the dude that was a swordsman, a bow. Made herself so she would pose, so she would be like a human bow, and then the dude would like fly and like bounce off of it and just fly straight through.
That sounds like a
just flew straight.
Sounds like a Chinese martial arts.
It was the hardest shit you ever seen. Watch Butterfly and the Sword. Somebody put it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's probably up there.
They always go over the top. There was one, I think it was something in the Flying Guillotine, if I remember the name correctly.
Oh, yeah.
The dude who basically had like, I don't know if it was a hat or whatever, but he moved it like a bolo, and then it would just like chop some dude's head off. It would be stuck inside, and it was some like how they did the edits. I don't know, but I was trying to figure out at 6.
I couldn't get away with Randy Nessa. Like my mom would see that and be like, no, but the anime, and I saw some like weird stuff I would rent, and I would think was cool, and then you get home and it's like almost hentai, and I'm like,
even you felt bad. You were like, maybe I should.
No, that was a bad choice.
This might be a step too far.
Yeah. Because it would be going. I'm like, oh, nobody wanted it. And then like, ooh, nah.
That was a bad choice. Like
the back of your neck get hot, and you're like, oof.
You know you made a mistake.
Yeah.
You know you made a mistake.
I would kind of fool my mother a little bit because we would also rent from the libraries. Like for some reason, libraries had like stashes of DVDs. A lot of them were like informational, but for some reason they would just have random stuff in there. And they had a big anime section. I don't know why, but they had like that and a lot of like the Studio Ghibli films. So they had like Princess Mononoke, stuff like that. I would just bundle it up like 3 or 4 together, and the one that I knew was bad,
you just hide it.
Yeah,
just
can we get
put
these?
it in the middle.
She's like, all right, here's the card.
Even if she kind of went through the top 3,
but you don't see that.
In the bottom 3, and it's that one.
You know, you fold it over and you fold it over,
and you turn it around so like the back cover says
all
text.
That is hilarious.
Just in the bundles, you know.
You had to do what you had to do to see what you wanted.
It was like a fix. It was like a fix.
But I like the when you could record, because when I got into Sailor Moon, it would come on like right after school, and I remember either I had to walk home or my grandmother would pick me up, and then I have to go to another school to pick up my sister from high school. And I remember I would get my VHS tape and I would pop it in there, and then I had the timer, so you could just like time it and make sure that it comes on, turns right on when you get home. So I would have that ready, but then I'd still feel anxious, like, oh man, it's coming on, I'm gonna miss it. And then I'd go home, drop my stuff off, run to the basement, turn on TV, and I'd be watching it while it's recording, like.
Black folk making TiVo for
Pretty
TV.
much.
Yes.
I mean, we did.
Ain't nobody else doing that to them tapes. People over recording weddings and shit. We out here.
I actually recorded over some stuff I probably shouldn't have recorded over because I was in need of a tape. No, you understand. My dad was obsessed with recording everything.
Family
And when
moments and all that?
No,
Yeah.
not even family moments, but like every movie on TV.
Oh.
Like we.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure we were stealing cable,
Yeah.
and then we had all like
Them
the
HBO blocks,
VHS movies.
get
And
They got their money.
and there were tapes for some of the like those iconic movies everyone talks about. I watched on VHS by just happening to open the little cubby hole and pick. I watched Dirty Dancing that way, and I was like, "What is this movie about?"
My grandmother got all 3 Karate Kids on VHS tape. Yeah, not store bought either.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's how I seen.
Commercials and all.
No. It might have been one of those where like they had basic cable and they gave them like the trials.
Oh yeah, the trials. Yep.
Because they used to have a tape of Turtles 1 and 2, and that's how I seen it.
Yeah.
That's how I. Had
Yeah,
it
no,
too.
everybody in their family must have had somebody. My sister was that. She's heavy with it. Like she would record like Cartoon Network blocks, HBO blocks, anything she could find. So I would just sit here watching a tape that had Terminator on it, then also had Tremors on it, then also had Willy Wonka on it.
Yeah. It would be like and then you'd have to like write them all in on.
You wrote them all.
So you're trying to find, and then it's the process of rewinding or fast forwarding in between movies to find that one movie you wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the first person you did you ever connect with anybody in your school with anime?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't until I switched schools like in 4th grade and I met my then time best friend Eden, who she's like this extremely talented artist. Like ever since I knew her, the girl could draw. Like she would draw like shit that you'd think an adult would draw. It's so good. And I don't even remember. I don't know how old I was in 4th grade, but I remember going to that school. She was the first person I met, and we hung out. She lived like literally a block from my grandmother's house, and I always stay at my grandmother's house when my mom was working. So I'd go over there, walk to her house, and I recently saw her at a con because she sells art. And then we were reminiscing. I was like, yeah, you got me into anime. She was like, no, Mary, you were the one that got me. I was like, I'm pretty sure I was not the one. And she was like, no, you did. Like Sailor Moon. Yeah. So I was like, she's like, yeah, you got me into anime and video games. I was like, I don't remember that. I think it was the opposite. But no, yeah, we clicked. And then I would always spend the night at her house, and we would watch like crazy shit, and I would play video games. She was never into games, so she would just watch me and then draw. And we would watch.
That was like the first Let's Plays. You would like hang out at your friend's house. Like unless you could play together, you would just chill. You'd hang out in the back, watch your friend try to beat somebody on Zelda.
Their parents would be like, isn't it a 2-player game? I was like,
no, we good. Yeah. You had your Game Boy off to the side, you know what I'm saying? You'd be working on whatever you gotta get. Yeah.
Watch we'd go online and try to find like downloads of a specific anime, like the fan sub stuff. We would watch that. Then we would watch like some of the Japanese variety shows. Like she was more into that, and then got me kind of into it. But I was more into like what the new anime was at the time. And then I remember when you went from VHS to DVDs, and you were burning your own. Everyone probably had the book.
Yep.
The books, right?
The book with the zippers.
Yep. And then
1 in the car, 3 at the house. Like
so we had that going. We'd have organized everything. I'm pretty sure hers was larger than mine though. And yeah, like she was the first person, and then I know I've met like several other people through that. But then when I moved to New York, I met my friend Ty, and through him I met my other friend Ayana, who now lives in Japan. But she was the other black person, female that I met, and she, we were into the same kind of things, and I don't think she's that much into anime, but just like Japanese culture and learning in general.
And I've noticed that too. There's like the appeal. Obviously we all fuck with anime.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that, like, the idea of the Japanese game shows and all the other parts of their culture that I'm actually even starting to like kind of turn an eye to, because it's interesting. It's just a whole nother.
I got the fact that I got into Tokusatsu. I think that's how you say it.
Oh, the Power Rangers stuff.
Super
Yeah.
Sentai,
Super
and like
Sentai,
Kamen Rider, and like really understand like, oh, this is just a soap opera.
Yeah, I guess I could say the same with
Yeah,
Godzilla.
yeah,
I'm big in like kaiju stuff, and like I watched all
my
those.
grandparents, they would watch stuff like Walker, Texas Rangers.
Oh, I love that show, man.
Yeah.
I watched that with my grandparents.
Yeah, it's a soap opera.
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Yeah.
It'll be
Murder,
something,
She Wrote.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
it'll be something serious, and then somebody get a roundhouse in the face. Like that's all it is. That's the appealing factor. Yeah. Now it's just like really super flashy. They rely on a lot of special effects now.
Yeah.
Versus before, it was like what they got, the budget.
What you got in the budget?
You gotta make it happen.
Yeah. Work with what
The
you got.
suits, all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the original. I watched like the first, like 15 of the Japanese Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. What we know as Mighty Morphin,
Yeah.
which is I think it's called Zuya Ranger. That's how you say it. It's wacky, but it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's as
pretty
close to a
entertaining.
live action anime as you can get, honestly.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, they even did it with Sailor Moon. They have the live action one, which is basically
You
like a
said
Power
that
Rangers.
before. Yeah, I want to.
I ain't seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it's you guys should do a reaction video
Really?
and watch it. It's
We're
interesting.
thinking about doing something like that, some like Mystery Science Theater
Yeah.
type, because he hasn't seen any of the Studio Ghibli. Well, not any of them, but how many of the Studio
None
Ghibli?
of them.
You haven't seen none of them.
any of them. Wow,
Yeah.
that's like that's impressive.
Yeah.
I got surface level.
It's fine.
I mean,
I'm not
even
that
the
deep into
surface
One
level,
Piece,
though,
but it's
'cause those
just,
are everywhere.
Nah,
You turn a corner,
whatever
Ghibli.
whatever came on cable at my grandmother's house.
That's true though, because
That's
they
it's
don't.
supposed to be coming on Netflix, so we're
Yeah.
about to.
No,
No,
why
no,
not?
no,
You-
not Netflix here. Everyone got so
no.
like.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
because everyone forgot that months ago HBO Max said they made the deal for the Ghibli movies, and then everyone was like, oh, whatever. HBO Max, isn't that the same as HBO Go? And they kind of let that kind of slide. And then when the Netflix came out, like my timeline was so lit. Oh my god! I'm like, please, let's settle down. Read the fine print. It says everywhere except U.S. and Japan.
All right, so I might just have to change mine to the UK then.
Or get a VPN.
I remember when they was doing
Whatever.
that. People was doing that. They were
Yeah,
changing
yeah.
where they lived to the UK. So
Region
that-
codes
the
and
region
stuff.
code. Yeah.
You just, we live in the age of VPNs and you just
And
put that
piracy.
in and
Yeah.
piracy. No,
LimeWire,
but I'm
baby.
over legal ways of watching
If you
things.
can, if
we
you have
did
access to it legally,
Legally.
Things like Asian
Absolutely.
Crush, very
Yeah,
legal
yeah.
ways
See?
to.
Well,
very
we
legal.
don't have
plug.
Ghibli though, so you're
Yes.
out of luck.
Yeah.
We don't have Ghibli, but no, like HBO, yeah, they will have the entire collection. I think other platforms have it now. There's the company G Kids. They distribute the physical media, so like DVDs and Blu-rays for Ghibli, but they also now are doing select digital. So like I think they said like Voodoo, they have some stuff up.
Okay. Voodoo I see
I
pop
don't
up.
know what other channels, but it's only select ones, so not everything. And because still Ghibli, I think they are more interested in theatrical, so they make a lot of money on doing those like seasonal. Oh, watch every single Ghibli movie this winter or summer or whatever. And people will go see them because they look really good on the big screen.
No, the old ones are very good. I started watching Neon Genesis.
Evangelion?
Yeah. It's the fact that that's even a series and like the quality of it.
Yeah, it should have been a movie. It's just
so-
so good. It's
I mean,
just
it is a movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's got the movies.
It's so good, but like the older anime,
Yeah.
like they really put in a lot of time and effort into that artwork,
Yeah.
and then told a story with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No.
Yeah, I mean that was a big win for Netflix because that show hadn't been streamed has never streamed. I think it just had been on TV, and then that was it. And they had the DVDs, which you literally probably can't find, or they're like super expensive. And the ones that are more cheaper are the movies, which some people love or hate, whatever, it's their preference.
して私の言いつけは絶対守ること。だから呼ばねえし怖ねえよ。
There's so much hate for just like certain things with anime, like the dub, the sub. It was just like, you seen it on the DVDs. I'm hitting it now. You don't read it? Yeah.
That's the age-old like thing that will never ever go away. And it's funny because when we work, our businesses, we work with a lot of foreign films. So like we'll put stuff up on like a Hulu or an Amazon, and we read the comments, and it's always the same like, I don't want to have to read my movie. But then at the end, fine print, but I watched it. It was delightful. And it's like...
Oh, it's getting there. People gonna learn.
Used to it.
Freaking, I was just telling them in the car on the way over here, it was like, they're sneaking this in because Parasite won Movie of the Year, where it's like, they're getting us ready for subtitles. Like, watch out.
They
it's coming.
Anime NYC, one of the entrances, it was just tucked away, just right there, like right in the front. I think it was like a big Gundam, like full size scale figure.
Yeah.
Like some advertisement, and then like off to the side, it was a common writer, like just post right there, the belt. I was like, I see what y'all doing. Y'all sneaky as hell. They're trying to get all their stuff over there. They know what's happening.
Yeah.
Asia's taking over everybody.
It's happening.
Trump was right. China.
China. Wait a minute. China. No, it's always been there, man. It's just a generational thing. So like we grew up with it, and the sub versus dub, and there was that big war. It's like in Naruto, like the ninja war or whatever. But it's like, and it kind of died down. And now Parasite, the day after Parasite won, like Twitter, that's all that was on Twitter, and I'm sitting back like, I'm gonna watch them battle it out this time. I'm gonna just enjoy my anime the way I like it, but you guys can battle. Yeah. And it's funny because it's like people. It's usually in the Midwest too, or the South, who like the people that just don't understand the concept of movies can be in U.S. and in a different language. I mean, people make movies all over the place. But Parasite is an example where you have this amazing movie, even though it's in a different language. I mean, y'all saw it, right?
No.
No, y'all gotta watch it.
It's
like the hype is really real. So I would say, don't even watch anything else on it. Just go and enjoy it. But the way that it was made and everything, like it's a kind of storytelling that's refreshing. And it's better than, half the stuff that we see now, which are like remakes. Well, we don't need like 7 billion remakes of the same IP. Like it's done. It's done. Let it die.
Based on a novel, based on this.
A play.
Yeah.
And like it can be fine if it's based on a play or something, but like it can't be something that we released like, in the 80s and then they're gonna redo it now.
Even now it's to the point where it's like if it's even 5 or plus years old, like, it's fresh for a remake. I'm like, for real? Like
there was something really ridiculous they were gonna make a remake of, and I was like, wait a minute, didn't it just come out? I can't even. It's gonna in the middle of this thing. It's gonna come to me, but yeah.
No, it happens a dime a dozen. Though. It's just I don't know what they planning. So everybody's telling me how original Parasite is, and I remember when it won the Golden Globes, and there was the whole thing was like once you get over his quote was like once you get over the 1-inch hurdle of subtitles, you'll be like open to so many more things.
Baby.
And it's just like and for me it was talking. I was like, I've been here. I've been
reading TV since 2010.
There's nothing wrong on anime with dub. I mean, like, there's certain things that...
Some are better, actually. Yeah, at least for me personally. Like, a lot of the older ones, especially... I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy he's done the voice of Spike and a few other...
Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom, that's what Steve Bloom.
Good, yeah.
Anything I've seen him in, it's just for some reason him, and then whatever cast they had in that era. In that era, it made it perfect.
Well, that specific show kind of works, I think, better in English than in Japanese. I think it's just the culture of the show. It's not really characteristically Japanese, where a lot of shows, they're very catered towards Japanese culture, or it's very, in essence, Japanese. So when you do an English dub, of course you have to change it for your audience, right? But I think there's like something subconscious, this is just my opinion, that I think for some people when they watch it and they hear it dub, it just doesn't sound great. But like Cowboy Bebop aesthetically is definitely like, I feel like that show was definitely made to be dubbed.
Once you hear that jazz, it sucks you in.
Yeah.
It sucks you in.
And then the characters and the voices, like, it just, it came together in such a beautiful way that it just is natural. Like I've watched both sub and dub version of this show, and as much as I like listening to, you know, the Japanese voices and getting and reading, like, you know, the intended meaning, I think they did a great job with the translation, and I think it fits. I honestly think it fits better as a dub, and culturally wise, and just that. And then there's some things, you know, you watch it and it's just like,
saying it.
Yeah.
Saying it. Saying it.
No,
I need I need something.
Just watch it on.
Needs to be better emotion here.
You explain it like that, then now I feel like Dragon Ball Z, I guess, is one of those rare cases, because that is heavy, like.
Yeah, but then at the same
Asian
time
influence.
too, I'm so used to American Goku's, like the English Goku, and I listen to the Japanese
Dragon Ball
one.
Z and Yu Yu Hakusho for me were two where it's like I actually really like it dubbed. Like
Looking at it now, because it's like what I really like about it, what I appreciate about the way Asia as a whole, they do their media. There's a lot of emotion, whether it's live action or it's animated. It's a lot of emotion put into that stuff.
Voice
They
acting.
really
Acting.
sell it. That all that yelling and all that stuff, like this.
There's a dude in the booth just lungs bleeding.
Going in.
Yeah.
And then they said Goku's voice actor used to pass out from screaming so much.
I believe it.
Yeah.
She's tiny. She's a little tiny.
Yeah.
She's
Like
tiny. little woman.
Luffy's voice acting in Japan,
Oh
just
my
some
God.
little Asian, and like all the screaming.
I wonder if the what's that new anime, Black Clover, and the dude just be screaming like
Black Clover.
no
I've seen a few episodes of it, but I can already tell he's got that. He's got that Edward from Full Metal. Elric.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
They like that yelling kind of.
Oh,
like
it's
very,
like constant. I mean, I like
Yeah.
that show. A lot of people hate on it, but this, like, when I first watched it, I had to mute it because dude was yelling
So
so
why?
loud. It was
He yells it so
was
much.
like attacking. It felt like it was
Almost-
literally attacking you.
I definitely checked out of it. People, I've talked to some people. It was like, just give it another shot. And I was like, all right.
Like,
I'll
you have
try
to
it.
get
I'll
past
try
certain
it.
episodes, and then it gets.
I give it the
saw
12
interesting.
episode limit. That's my rule.
I saw a
12
clip that
episodes.
looked hard,
Yeah.
and I was like, I gotta get to it because that usually is what happens to me because there are so many that come out, and a lot of them are good. I just don't have time for it. But then on my Instagram feed, there'll be like a clip, and I don't know what it is about Black Twitter, but we always just
Oh boy! Oh yeah!
it's always an anime clip. It's like, oh, this nigga going in or some shit like that on the top.
Every time.
And so I'm just sitting, I'll watch, it's on my feed, and I watched a clip for Black Clover. It was like the 4 dudes with the swords, and like they had it on the dude's neck, and I was like, oh, this shit looks hard. I gotta catch up to it. The same happened to me with One Punch Man, where I was like, I was watching a scene from that, and then immediately I was like, I turned it off. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go watch this now. Like I gotta get to that episode, wherever that fight was, because that shit was hard.
I did that with Hip. I was watching. It was like a top 10 moments, and it wasn't from the original animation. It was from like the redub they did in like 2011. But I wanted to experience the whole thing. I never heard of it. I'm like, what, a boxing anime? That's goofy, and then I was sucked in.
Yeah.
I was just spending like a whole summer just watching
Baki?
all. Nah, Hippo.
Oh, yeah.
Baki is another one too, where this is.
I don't think Baki is the.
It's like street.
It's
street
no.
ball.
Bloodsport.
No, I'm thinking of a different anime. It's a kind of a remake of an older '80s one. That's on. I think it's on Netflix. It's not Baki.
Baki they did recently remake.
It's like Kingen Asher.
It's something about Ashton Joe, Tomorrow's Joe, and it's like a remake, kind of a remake, but I can't.
Is it like heavy fighting?
Yeah, it's boxing, but I think it's on Netflix. Is it? It's not boxing.
Oh,
No, it's
Gearbox.
not. Yeah, Megalobox.
Megaloboxing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Megalobox.
Megaloboxing. Yeah. With
No,
the
that's
Gearless
not,
Joe.
that's not Netflix.
Gearless
That's
Joe.
not a Netflix show. That's
What have you been keeping up with? What have you been watching lately?
A lot of old stuff, but I'm trying to think.
What are some old stuff that people might like have not heard of? Because
some cuts.
we were just talking about that before we started, like how it's like I remember the big cuts from the '80s, but there's still some that I'm like, it looks cool.
I mean, a lot when I tell people to watch like older stuff, it's like a lot of like the major stuff. So like you have the Akiras. Now I'm drawing a blank. Akira's always on the top of the list just because it's just
Ghost in the Shell?
yeah, Ghost
in the
in the Shell. But as far as like series, I don't know. It depends on what you like, because I like the romantic stuff. So I like Peach Girl, Hana Yori Dango, which translated as Boys Over Flower.
Flexing that Japanese muscle.
No, that's a really good show. That's like a quintessential, high school bully that turns into like person you love type story.
Oh, okay.
But man, there's so many. Like, go to Retro Crush and look at our videos, and you'll find something there.
Yeah,
that's another plug. Retro Crush.
Go look at clips there.
The clips.
Go look at clips. Chris over here made them.
Deep cuts. Deep cuts and stuff I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say no. The one anime that I really enjoy. It's not like 80s, but it's older. But I think the story of it ages well, because it's stuff that like it's real shit. It's real stuff that people deal with. Nana. I don't know if you guys know that. It used to be on Netflix. I don't think it's on there anymore. But
the name does.
It's about two women. They're both named Nana, and they meet on a train going to, I guess, Tokyo. They're going to the city, and they're two women with the same name, but they're very different, like kind of personalities. One, Nana, she's like this rocker. She's in a band, and then her boyfriend in the band, he gets recruited to like from their band to like a more popular one, and he leaves, and she's kind of like, oh shit, but then she decides to take that chance to leave too and go follow her dreams and be her own star, but also I think like be with him too at some level. No. I think she definitely wants to do her own thing, make her own music. And then the other Nana, she's just going there to meet her boyfriend. And then it's just that chance meeting, and then it's a story about that basically. And the story focuses on the girls together, but also like their individual stories. So like a lot of stuff happens. There's like, betrayal. There's like so much drama, music, good music.
So like they meet on the train.
They
continue to
meet on the train by chance.
Oh,
They're like, because the one Nana, the cute Nana, they're both cute, but like the one that's
fine. You said
the one like the got the punk rock one, and then you got like the kawaii girly one, and so the soft Nana, she's like trying to find a seat, and the other Nana's sitting there, and she's like, can I sit here?
Soft Nana.
I mean, if you watch it, you understand. And so she. And that's like they
Soft.
soft.
So when she said that, she's like weak.
She's weak though. She's weak. She starts off weak. It's character development. And so it starts off with that chance meeting, and then like they end up meeting again, and they realize that let's live together in this apartment. Well, you'll be my roommate. And it's just life. It's just like a slice of life type of story, but it has a lot of depth to it. It never finished because I don't know why they stopped the anime, but the author got sick at some point, and so she never finished the actual comic, the manga, which sucks because I read it up to a certain point where she stopped. And man, it was at such a dramatic spot.
I feel that with Hunter x Hunter, the same shit was like when they quit on you, like, hey!
Yeah, and
I spent too much time on this.
Well, he gave us you having show, so he has an excuse. He has an excuse to be like, hey, bro, I already did greatness once.
Blessed you once.
Yeah. What you want from me?
Another season. Just one. Wrap it up with a bow.
Somebody made a chart of like the number of hiatuses he did. I'm just like, wow.
There's like 2-3 year gaps between each one, and you could tell because it's like every season's something completely different, which I love. But then at the same time, you're like, oh, this thing is just trying,
throwing out,
just trying
That's
shit.
it.
Yeah,
that's it, man. I feel the same way with Chera Oda. This guy got me stressed out. I'm just like, oh my god,
really stressed out. You're thinking about it.
Man.
Breathe, woosah.
Nah, because I read I read an article a few years ago. He said, I plan on going another 10 years with this. So strap in. Strap in all you One Piece fans. Yeah. The last arc before the one they on now, like he started he reintroduced characters and started introducing new characters. And that's when I'm like, all right, man. Come on. Come on. At this point, I'm just like, you're killing me right now. I'm watching this shit since I was 19. Like, come on, man. Just
that show is crazy because I remember having a pen pal, and from Brazil, and this guy, that's all he would talk about is One Piece. He's like, oh, you know, Mike, and this is like AOL days, so that again aged. And like for chat rooms, or no, it wasn't even AOL. I think it was IRC, the chat room. Y'all, IRC.
It was so many.
I'm pretty sure that Bob, y'all don't know that. Then I'm few of them.
So many.
But
you just had access to the internet. That's all.
and man, like he kept talking about Luffy and this and the Rubber Man. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You don't watch that show? I'm like, I don't even know if it airs in America. But that shit was the shit in Brazil, and from like me being a kid to now, and it's like still a thing. And I'm like, not in my 20s anymore. So now I'm just like,
why is a Luffy Rubber Band Man crossover not coming up?
That's true.
T.I. doesn't know about it.
T.I. probably doesn't know.
Probably doesn't know about it. The thing, it's because Cher is like a fucking evil genius. It's like there's no way you came up with this yourself, but then it's like he's a huge Akira fan of Dragon Ball Z. You can see it in the anime, and like apparently he's been writing this since he was a kid. So it's all improvised. Like everything that's happening, everything's going on, all of the fighting, the moves and stuff. The fact that he picked
all those characters, I could tell.
Yeah, like, the fact he picked the character whose power is rubber, and then he just goes with that, and then it's just
builds and builds. Yeah,
nonsense after nonsense. Just like entertain me, and then this motherfucker just bites his arm and inflates his muscles. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Get the hell out of here. Stop playing with me right now. It's crazy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I definitely. The more and more I sit there and think about it, I watch it, it's just like I realize, like, all right, so every arc he does, which is almost like 50 episodes, it's a brand new anime. It's a brand new theme going on. It's a brand new like problem, and it's a new cast of characters. So and then he constantly reintroduces these characters again. They pop back. It's insane. He introduced the main villain now around the early hundreds. We're in 920. So the main guy that they know they're gonna meet at the end, he introduced him like 120 at just a nobody.
This is why when people say, "Oh, you should start reading this," you're just like,
see, I don't even try to tell people to do that. I'm like, if you want to watch it, just jump in. Just find the arc, read about it, and then find where it starts at, and then just do that.
Which is what he's gonna have me do at some point. I think I'm.
Well, I hadn't watched some original stories. I was like, all right, now you have you at least need, because he was just going to jump in. I was like, no, you need at least like a base of information to figure out. Like,
so you got to watch the first season at least. No.
See this is where he's like an evil genius. He's actually condensed.
Calculated it.
Yeah, he's condensed.
Serious math.
He's condensed entire arcs into an hour 45. Into a movie. You see that, right? He wants people to watch it. He wants people to jump. He's like, no, I know I got high shit. You know what? I'm proving to you by making it into a movie. So you ain't even gotta watch 50 episodes.
That's like Gundam, the original. They have the series and just make some movies.
Crazy. And
then, condense it.
Yeah, the entire, I think for the first 5 or 6 crew members, he did a whole movie just telling like how they all got started, how they met each other. And he watched that.
But was it as emotional?
Yeah.
It was pretty. Yeah.
It was straightforward. It was just like, all right, Luffy met this person. This was going on. This is their struggle when it was happening, and then he gave a quick flashback, and then boom, there we are now. That's it.
I don't know. One of these days it'll be a New Year's resolution, and I'll get into it. It
has to be a resolution. Jesus Christ.
I see the number of episodes, and I'm like, even the movie, like.
Is what like. I would say don't deprive yourself because it is pretty.
No, yeah.
Crazy.
Everyone's told me you gotta watch it. It's like the best thing. And whenever I see commercials, I'm like, this looks so silly. Like, how is this supposed to be dramatic and like make you cry?
Until you see that giraffe pop up. Till you see
that giraffe. Now. I mean, but I saw someone on Twitter. A lot of people on Twitter are doing these like manga challenges, and like 2 people that I followed, they were actually started reading the manga. So I'm like, oh, I guess I could do that. But then I have ADD, so I'll like read a chapter and probably be like, oh, well, time to do something else. So
Netflix, I think it's official. They announced that they'll be doing
live action, right?
Live action One Piece?
I mean, yeah, you know.
They did it. Well, they probably just gonna slap their name on it. Like
Graphically, they could do it.
Like they did with the. As long as it's not like Death Note.
No, I don't. Oh, I don't think it's gonna be an Americanized version of it.
No, as long as they just license it, as far as like just letting American audiences see it, like they did with Bleach, because the Bleach movie was fine because they did a one-off. Where they didn't
the
leave a
Bleach
cliffhanger.
movie was a Japanese produced thing, right? Yeah, and they just licensed it for. They just put it on
perfect.
U.S. Netflix. Yeah.
America does not have a good track record of doing live action.
Death Note was pretty bad.
Death Note's trash. I'll say it. Death Note's trash.
Look at the camera instead.
Yeah, they got a black L. Who niggas like trying.
I mean, the only thing was that was good was.
You gotta watch this anime.
I did like the CGI route though. Ryu.
Everything looked good, but it was just something that you gotta let Japan do this stuff.
Let them keep it.
You have to let them do this stuff.
What was it? The Full Metal Alchemist movie wasn't terrible. Like the
live action.
Yeah, the opening animations were dope.
They did it. They know what to do. They know exactly what. Like the fact that with the Bleach movie, where they made it realistic, was like a guy with a big sword ain't gonna be able to swing it around like that. Like they made it like. The way he was fighting with the sword, like he planted it down to actually like launch himself off of it, and this is a fucking giant fucking sword.
Yeah.
He's also a 15-year-old kid.
The Kenshin one, right? The Kenshin movies.
Kenshin one was hard.
No, those are the best. I would say that's the best series of live action anime. You know, anime to live action movies. The Bleach one, I thought it was good, but not as good as Kenshin was. Just like by far really good.
Because Kenshin was definitely it was realistic.
Yeah.
As far as like Bleach, it was heavy CGI.
But it was still good. But I like my favorite will always be the Kenshin, and then they're doing another one. I don't know when it releases, but they had like a poster teaser for it.
For Kenshin?
Mm-hmm, there's another one.
I thought they already did.
They made 3 movies, I think.
There's one more. There's one more coming.
But I thought the last one was like the actual final, the Kyoto arc.
No, there's another one. There's definitely another one.
Oh,
I think we posted it on Retro Crush a long time ago.
Check it out.
Check it out. On Instagram.
What's the live action you would like to see?
Man, I don't know.
Seeing this behind me, I just saw the card captains clip. I think that would be pretty fun.
A card captain?
Live action card captains?
Yeah. Like a children's movie?
Maybe. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to see that.
Okay.
I think they could easily do like a nice
feasible
live action.
Though. I think that like with the cards and stuff.
What is it? My Hero? Because it'd basically be an X-Men movie.
But visually.
Visually?
Am I gonna get my fix? Visually, am I gonna get my fix?
That could be good, and it can be bad.
Just that whole saga, them going to the school, doing the games.
You have All Might's face shaded out? You going?
I don't know. I don't know. I would take like a CGI, I don't know, maybe an animated CGI kind of thing before a live action for My Hero. I don't know.
Like the Berserk movies?
Oh no, not that kind of CGI.
Okay.
No, I don't like that new Berserk. I don't. It's
not
weird.
the series, the movies.
Oh, the movies. Okay, well the movies.
Yeah, not because the series was a complete drop from the movies. With that built you movies. They set them up perfectly. I was like, oh, this is about to be fire. And I was like, what is this trash? This is garbage right here. It's like seeing a commercial for like some fast food product. It's like, oh, this is about to be lit. It's like, this is terrible. Ugh. It's disgusting.
Spit it out.
Yeah.
No, not that. Yeah. I don't know what I would want to see, honestly. I mean, like current stuff I'm watching, Food Wars. I like that show.
Okay.
Because I like food, and I feel like.
But I heard it's beyond the.
I mean, it is.
Food.
It is. It's definitely crazy, but the amount of time that they spent talking about the food and like researching stuff, I'm like, I want to know
legit, like some actual chef type.
Who, like, if I were to make this following the show,
would it work?
Like people do that. I looked up videos of people like recreating stuff. Obviously, does not look as good as it does in the show.
Right.
But it's interesting, and I think one of the producers early on Twitter, he made like the first meal that they made in the episode 1, but it is a pretty like really crazy. You know, the reactions when you eat food, I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah.
But it's really good, but you get hungry, so you gotta watch it while you eat something. It's not gonna work unless you do that. But they'll probably do. I could see a live action of that.
I think any of the sports ones would be great. Because one of the ones I really liked was Initial D. It was basically a much better Fast and Furious movie.
I just watched the first episode of that.
Initial D? It's great. It's so good. It's so. I mean, it's very much like.
I like it.
Yeah, it's an anime, but it's still based in it because it is as real as you could get with
Fast
anime
and
being.
Furious.
It's literally the drive. And the cool thing is that it's based on such a real culture. Like you can see those pictures of them dudes just posted up on the mountainsides in like the 80s.
You should watch it.
Same haircuts, just cooling in their 240s, just like it was
An ace.
What is it? GTO. I mean, they have live action.
That's
they made
what
in
I'm
Japan.
always saying in like new type magazines or
What?
like what was some of the GTO?
GTO.
Yeah, like always heavily like advertised. It was like available in Suncoast or FYE or whatever. I just didn't know.
That's the quintessential like for guys like the anime like dudes watch growing up. It's our coworker Will. That's like his favorite show in the whole wide world. I don't know if it's his favorite show.
What's it about?
That was the first video that popped that really blew up.
Yeah, and his life stories.
GTO.
It's another slice of life. A teacher who used to be a gangster and then he wants to teach. And
It goes back to
he does. Oh my god. You just imagine
That's why he
GTO,
relates with
the
it.
Key and Peele GTO.
Oh, y'all ain't finna scare me away.
I know where y'all headed. I've been there before.
No, it's good though.
Let me learn you something.
Like Morgan Freeman.
It's Coach Carter.
Oh, y'all think y'all tough.
That would be a good one. I mean, they have a Japanese version, but if they did it in America and Americanized it,
I'd walk with it.
I mean, what did they have? I thought of that, and I thought about Dangerous Minds, but that's kind of like that, but then the opposite. No Michelle Pfeiffer, just get some dude in there. Ex-gangster.
Get fucking Idris Elba.
No, that show's really, really good. And because we've been working a lot with it, been rewatching some episodes of that. I don't know. Chris, you got something you would like to see live action in the shadows back there?
Yeah.
What?
You already said GTO.
Oh, GTO's here.
Everyone that y'all said would be dope is shit that could actually happen and has had, like, you said with the one with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, Dangerous Minds?
Dangerous Minds,
Dangerous Minds, like, that already had, like, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to do
Yeah.
that. If you take
It's just
anime.
making it
Yeah.
in 2020.
Yeah, because it's real. They can really relate
Yeah.
to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did the Dragon Ball Z movie they did was trash. It's like,
Oh my
garbage.
God. I don't really know. How do
It's
people,
not real enough.
how do
yeah,
people get,
it has to have that level of realness.
Yeah, it needs something to.
Because Hollywood didn't know about anime. I just watched that.
I think that's such a lie. It's all money. Like, how do you take a big IP like that and then mess it up so badly?
Because they probably didn't believe it because it was so. It's still hitting me every day that like anime is so niche that like even people with all these millions of dollars that want to invest money and stuff like
But that's the
They
question.
won't know, but
Has anime been this like secret thing that's just not blowing up? Because you hear all these celebrities, you have Michael Jordan with the line stuff, and then you got tweets from Kim Kardashian talking about Sailor Moon, but it's like they grew up liking that stuff. It's only because they're celebrities now where it seems like, oh my God, it's so popular.
They're so relatable.
But it's, oh my God, we
people
connect.
too.
But it's like,
It's like me.
but it's like it's just been around. It's been around, and it's been. I feel like anime's just been quietly mainstream because
I think people just still looked at it as cartoons. Just like,
yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a cartoon.
It's its own
Yeah.
medium. It's extremely adult. I would say.
And then like you said, like those were like the major ones, the Sailor Moons or like the Naruto's. When they start going beyond that, that's when I'll listen to them. That's when I'm just like, okay, you actually like dive in and like you watch this stuff. You stayed up late and watch Adult Swim on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So like you know these cuts. But
懐かしいわね。また試験官やってみたいもんだわさ。
You're
I'm back.
The lean kid.
Heck yeah. Mary, you mentioned gaming. Are you still? Actually, how would you describe yourself as a?
Because you said it was in your family, so like had Nintendo and stuff.
Oh yeah, no. We had the Nintendo, basic Nintendo, but I have an older sister, so when I was younger, it was kind of like a competition. Like if she could beat it, then I needed to do it.
Older
and
or
then,
younger?
Older. She's older.
Okay.
And I just remember like, you know, I don't think my sister and I got along too well as kids, and two bratty girls. And so, but I fell in love with video games, and then I remember getting a PlayStation, and was it PS2 when I got that? I remember, I think it was a PS2, and I got it for Christmas. My mom didn't know, because she didn't buy it. It was my grandmother that got it. So my mom was like, who got her that? She was like all mad about it on Christmas. I was like, why?
I'm trying to
And then
show
my
you
grandmother, who I would have never thought would even like it or like care anything about it or knew that I liked it, she was like, let the child have it. I was like,
let her be. Let her be.
So just let the child be. But no, like I'm an introvert, so I like when I have my alone time and I'm at home. Like when I was growing up, the basement, like I said, was my domain. So my sister was like the crazy. I'm go hang out with everybody. I know everybody in Akron, Ohio. Like I can get you cheap that and that, whatever. Like I was like, no, I just want to be down in the basement, play some video games, watch my shows. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to anybody. So yeah, I played a lot of games. And one of my cousins, I remember he used to come over a lot, and he always told me like, man, Mary, I used to like hate playing games because you'd have to like beat it real fast. And I would go through games like really, really fast to try to get to the end because I like story. So I'm just like, let's get through this and get to the next.
Cranking out hours.
Now I don't. Now because I'm older, like I just feel like, well, also because I'm working, so like I'm tired, so I don't play. I find it harder for me to like stay engaged because I have bad ADD too. So, but I do enjoy it. Like I play. I have a PS4. I bought myself a Switch.
There we go.
Well, I bought it for my boyfriend and I bought it for us to use. But then, but then what happened was, so he's like, okay, well, we'll both make accounts, and he's from Hawaii, and he's like a ton of brothers and sisters, so they had the online account, so you know, we just piggyback off of them, and everyone was all good. But then he's like, okay, wait, we have two accounts on the Switch, and you know, he's a big Smash player, so he would play that, and like he likes a lot of indie games, and then I would play. Like the Switch has the old Nintendo classic stuff.
Yeah,
so
the classic stuff
those,
on the online, which is great. Yeah, the Super Nintendo.
And like RPGs and stuff. And so he would play like when I was at work in days because our schedules are all weird. So he'd play, and then when I come home, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play. But then it got to a point where like I travel a lot for work, so I'm going to markets, and I'm like, well, I want to play Switch on the plane. He's like, okay, yeah, you can take it. But then it got to the point where like I'd be going on multiple trips so that I would have the Switch for like at least a week and he wouldn't have it. And he's so nice that he didn't say it. He would never say it, but I could always tell because he'd be like, the first thing I do when I get home,
taking it with you,
he'd be like, oh, nice to see you. Do you have the Switch? And it was like, oh yeah, my trip was great. Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Switch at,
yeah, but it was literally like that. Well, where's the Switch?
Yeah.
You got it with you? Is it charged? Okay.
It is honestly, I've been telling him it's honestly like reawakened my gaming experience because I myself have also been busy and I played games like, I love games as a kid. I think like my family was all about it, like particularly my sister. And having something that I can literally just take, I have it in my bag now, like I'll just pop it out. Yep. Maybe 15, 20 minutes, just get a little bit, get a level.
It's portability.
Go about your day. It's better for me. I was like, I gotta figure out how to not stare at my phone so much. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's wasting time. I'll just stare at my Switch. At least I earn achievements. Fuck that. I'm out of here.
No, but see, it's so addictive. So we ended up buying two Switches. So we waited till it went on sale, and I had my own Switch, and he has his own Switch. Because he got too tired. He's like, it's just not working out this thing between us and the Switch. I was like, serious talk. He's like,
we gotta
seriously,
and then he just pulls it out behind his back. He's just like, I had to save the relationship.
No, yeah. And the thing is, he doesn't like buying like expensive. Like we're cheap, so we don't want to be spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it was like he was like, no, we're okay, it's okay. And then like the next day, he's like, go to Amazon. They have a sale right now. I think we should just do it. And so we got it. But now I'm like so happy because. I mean, he'd be in one room playing Smash with his friends, and I'm in the other room with my online with like coworkers. We play Stardew Valley.
That's the
I
big
play The
one.
Witcher on it. And
it's like a farming sim.
It's a farming sim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
but
it's relaxing.
multiplayer too, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
So like you waste your whole life on that game.
Like almost like Minecraft or Terraria.
If
but
you,
it's like
if you
have
play
a
Animal
farm
Crossing, it's kind of like that in a sense too. So
Real
it's
popular.
But it's what I wish the Vita was. Like the Vita could have been.
The Vita seemed like
Vita
it
could
had
have been
a
that.
lot of potential.
But
that's
they
not
just
what
Sony
did.
was just
Yeah.
dumb. Like
Yeah.
like they could have done so much better. Like I legit really wish that Sony made the Switch. That they made the Vita that way because there's so many good games.
They're so worried about competing with Xbox that Nintendo
they just do what they
consistently
want to
is
do.
just like, we're gonna do us.
It took it back full circle for me because the first console I played was the original NES, and it's funny actually that the first one that my family had got stolen. It was in like Newark, New Jersey, and that's when I figured.
Shout
out Brick City.
Shout out North.
But this is a North. This is when I realized that it's like, these are a bunch of gaming nerds because the first thing that they got upset about was that the Nintendo got taken. It was just like we had got robbed, our shit got kicked. It's like, they took the Nintendo. Like,
what are we gonna do?
Yeah. No, and it all came back full circle because the IPs are just so familiar to me. It's like, I've been damn near 30 years. I have been around these same characters, and they've managed to make the same 10 characters.
If you think about Sony and Microsoft are just now getting their characters.
Yeah.
They're just
yeah,
not
Nintendo's always had like their
classic. You buy Nintendo, you get Pokemon.
You get Pokemon, you get Mario.
You get Mario, all his family, crazy family.
Yeah.
Shit.
Metroid, all these crazy.
Yeah, you get
that uncle that stays in the room.
You get Bowser, Peach, you get all of them.
Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And
Olympic games, all the Smash shit. Yeah.
Zelda, all of that stuff. And now they even like, we'll sweeten the deal. Like, you want to play Bayonetta 2? Well, you got to buy it.
That's the thing. The third
Bayonetta
party
used to be on PlayStation, and it just went over.
Yeah, and they hopped. Nintendo's L.
I don't know, but I still like PlayStation. I
gotta
do
get
play.
my God of War fix.
Yeah, God of War, PS4.
I keep it just for those AAA titles that I'm like, I gotta play them. Like I gotta, or they're like those PlayStation exclusives.
But I do wish, like, I like those games, but I do wish it was a portable thing because, like, sometimes I don't want to be in the other room playing. I want to be on my bed and play.
To people? And it spoiled people. Wow.
We spoiled now.
We're spoiled.
Like, yo,
I want to be in the comfort of
I
my
can play
bed
Witcher
playing the
right
game.
now.
It's your move.
That's what they did. And like,
we on airplanes right now.
See, that's the thing. You have it.
I feel like PlayStation. Remember the PS1 portable? You used to strap that to the back of your car.
Oh no, that's horrible. I remember that.
I don't.
It worked like a CD player.
Yeah, it was a CD,
and it was like a mini screen that PlayStation had, but you could play it in your car. You could hook it up to your car.
To like the back of the seat.
To the back of the seat of the car. Yeah.
I used to want one of those.
They tried for a minute.
I always wanted those. My mom was like, read a book, and I'm like. Can I just like read a book? Go to the library. We'll drive to the library now.
She made sure we had those new handhelds, so that we would shut the fuck up on
SPs?
road trips.
My godmother. I will always remember one Christmas. I really wanted. I think it's Pokemon Pikachu, the yellow. Yeah, and when that came out. And then for Christmas, because I knew I was gonna get it, because the night before I like snuck downstairs and I was like, you tear off a little piece of the present to take a look.
Yeah.
But I opened it and I was so happy. My godmother's like, I want you to know, I waited all night to get you this game, so I hope you like it and you finish it. I was like, oh yeah, I do. I will finish it. But Yeah, I had that, and y'all play the Home Alone on Game Boy.
On Game Boy.
Yeah.
No. I know there was one. I believe it was on NES or Super Nintendo.
No, the Game Boy one. The Game Boy one was ridiculous. Now I really want to play it. It was
like
that.
platformer?
It was
Probably like side-scrolling.
Yeah. It's kind of yeah.
Didn't you weren't you unlocking and locking rooms and stuff trying to get?
I just remember one had like these rats. One of the levels had rats, and I just remember I kept dying because you kept running into those things.
Oh, they designed those games almost as you gonna get your money worth.
I'm pretty sure
but
not how to YouTube.
But she's gonna be on the same level.
Right.
Yeah, they were hard. And then I think someone recently read an article on was it Super Nintendo and The Lion King and how hard that game was.
It was that and Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Well, Aladdin, I don't think Aladdin was that hard, and I don't remember Lion King being that hard either. But watching this dude play it stressed me out because he kept dying, and it was
how was that for you being a girl in a heavy dominant?
Well, I know I got my first job at GameStop because I was a girl. I went
you
in
a
the back.
GameStop vet?
Yeah, it was right before it was
hell
Fun.
yeah.
Well, when I interviewed, it was Funcoland, and then it switched.
Oh, okay. Because didn't they buy up Babbage's?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
But all the.
I went in for the interview, and I sat down. The guy said, "What's your favorite system?" And I was like, "Oh, I like PlayStation." He's like, "Okay." And he asked me one other question, and then I left, and they were like, "Okay, you can come in." But it was this one dude, and his brother was working under him, and then it was all his friends, right? And then I was the only girl there, and I just remember being behind the counter, and it was really chill back then, where I don't even know if it was the company's policy, but he was like, "Oh yeah, you can rent out a game for a week, but not the new ones, but and just we have a ledger here." So I was like, "Oh, this is my job. I'm gonna just play all these games." But then his friends would just come in and his brother, and they all try to hit on you, but in really
but they don't know how
ways.
to because they
yeah, and it's just nah, I'm not talking to you. I just want to do
It
my
was a
job.
whole trap house for
It was just and I knew that going into it, but I was I just want to play games. But the funny thing is, there's one dude who I remember he's always calling out the bullshit and to the manager and his brothers and friends. And then I got an internship in New York, and I remember I left and I did the internship, and I remember he had called me out of the blue, and I was like, "Oh, how's it going there?" He's like, "Yo, everyone got fired." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, right after you left, they investigated the manager and his brothers for stealing games."
Oh.
And I was like, "Woo, I'm glad I got out." And he was low key, Mary. If you would have stayed, they probably would have fired you too. I'm the only one they didn't fire. I'm the new manager. I was like,
damn.
That's crazy.
They were you can't. They took away that policy if you
They raided them.
Yeah, and because they would take the games, rent them out.
I always wondered if they would. I was because they get them 3 weeks before everybody else. I bet they just cut them shit so
and
bad.
I was I'm so glad I'm not a part of that. But it was crazy. That was my first job, and I did overnights where you have to put in the stock for the new games when they're coming to release, Call of Duty, and it's all a bunch of guys, and then they're all saying stupid shit to you while they're checking out.
Oh, the pre-orders,
Yeah,
seeing that line that
yeah,
just said.
yeah, man.
I was there for Skyrim. Don't
I
get
was
it
there
twisted.
for Arkham Knight.
I've been to one of those. I know what those are. No, I was on the other side checking y'all out and keep it moving. I don't want to talk. Nope, no numbers. Let's keep it moving. We got people here. I gotta go home and sleep.
I just can't believe dudes would just pull up to the GameStop and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
No, yeah, they would.
What's going on?
The brother would be on the
How you
counter
doing?
and be like, "How's it going?"
What's good?
That's good. That's good. That's good. What you doing?
I don't know how to imitate. I don't know how to imitate.
It was just really awkward.
Fucking nerd trying to get on a game.
Yeah, I want that subscription to Game Informer. Come on, hook me up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just bought Xbox Gold for
Wow, that really impressed
One for me, one for you, boo. You know what I'm saying?
I got the season pass.
I mean, you ask anybody that worked at GameStop as a female, that's probably the same story you're gonna hear. And just collectively, it's there. And the worst was when I worked at I moved to New York and I worked at FYE next to Radio City.
Shout out to FYE.
Man, those, I mean.
Supply I didn't know I needed as a
that
kid.
place was wild.
Man.
It was definitely not Ohio. I mean, people be just trying to steal empty boxes. And I'm like, dude, why are you trying to steal an Xbox but there's no Xbox in it. Like, how do you think it feels like nothing?
Because I had hope.
And we actually just let the guy go. Everyone was just laughing, and he was like looking at us like, I just walk out the store? So we're just like,
Oh shit!
and we just walked out. We were like, well, we just lost the box. That's okay, whatever. But it was just like
Another one that just tallied up in the back. Like, all right.
we saw a guy come in, and he it's no longer there anymore. But when the store was there, on the top level, it was like CDs, like new music, pop stuff. And so he'd like pick stuff up, and then we saw him like go downstairs with these baggy pants, and he's just looking at us as he's going down. Like, and downstairs was where they had like the world music, and then DVDs and games. So then this guy spends like a couple minutes down there, and then he comes back up, and he's real slow, and he's walking like this, and you're like, well, I don't see the stuff. Dude had them stacked in his pants. Like I don't know how he did it, but he had. And then he's like walking up the stairs, and my manager at the time, who a really cool dude, he was just like, and is waiting for the right moment, and he was like, laughing. We're all just staring at this guy like, what does he do? So then he sees all of us, and the manager is like, old white dude with this weird ass glasses and beard comes out, and he's like, oh, we gotta stop him. He's gonna steal. And my manager's like, nah, dude, like, where's he gonna go? He's got stuff, and then they all start falling out of his pants, and he's like trying to get out, and the what is this, revolving doors?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just sat there and laughed. It was just like, what? He's like, I'm not stealing anything, and he's like trying to pick up the stuff falling out of his pants, and those were the days. Back when the physical media stores were open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suncoast.
Shout out Suncoast.
Suncoast, yep.
Mad videos, DVDs.
Yeah. Suncoast was dope. That's where I did see a lot of like anime collections.
There's a lot of collectibles there at the Suncoast.
They were one of the first I noticed the adapter they did, like almost like how Spencer's had little figurines, but they had them specifically designed for like movie stuff, anime, like bobbleheads, things like that. Like
they're at GameStop now. They do all the pop or Think Geek. That's another.
Think Geek, yeah.
They're with GameStop, Think Geek, and those were
Sam Goody.
Going in. Wow. Now we just buy games on and the Switch too.
Deep in it.
Do you guys buy a lot of physical, like the Switch physical games, or do you mostly digital?
I'm mainly doing digital.
I don't have the Switch yet.
He's getting it.
You gotta get it.
It's
you haven't yet.
No, I will. I will. I'm a believer.
Yeah.
My brother tried to ask me if I want to go half. I'm like, no, I want
Convert
my
you
own. Yeah.
to Switch.
Y'all gonna fight.
Yeah,
there's gonna be
like,
a brawl
like,
in the Fortune household.
I'm just like, no, I already noticed that. We shared shit before, man. No, I'm not sharing no more shit with you.
It's not one.
No,
It's not a Kit Kat bar.
You can't share it. There's no way. After you
break it
start
up.
playing a game and you get into it, there's no sharing.
Unless you guys make a pact, like you strap it into the holder, like it's never leaving that spot. If you make it a home console, which can never.
It can't.
It's something so intoxicating about just.
That was the whole market, like the first commercial.
It's so seamless.
These niggas, they made their cartridges. Like they made the whole
thing is a cartridge.
There was nothing more satisfying than that original Nintendo, just setting it in,
Even
making
with
that
the
click.
DS, the DS, like the way it just softly just clicks.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, Nintendo's forever to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still team PlayStation 2. I like them both.
Oh, I still got the PS2.
I like them. Yeah. Oh yeah. PS2. I still got. I actually plan on getting a 360 again, just because there was a lot of games on it. Halo.
PS2 and 360 had thus far probably like the best catalog of video games.
Yeah. You were saying that they probably shouldn't even go past that at this point. You're like they could have stopped.
There's no need. There's no need. Like games looking more and more realistic. So it's like, what, am I watching a movie or am I playing a game?
I think you get. It's good and bad because I do like the realistic stuff. There's a couple of games like Heavy Rain and the Detroit where I like where it's like realistic and you can make those story-driven like choices. But then I like a good Stardew Valley where it's like pixels and.
I still want to know I'm playing a game. Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I still want to know. I still need to check out. It's the same reason I need to give myself a break from anime. Yeah.
Well, I like that's why I play RPGs because it's mostly like Final Fantasy. I'll play those. I like what am I playing now? Red Dead, although I didn't finish it because the Switch.
Super big. Yeah,
Red Dead 2. The Witcher.
Yeah.
The Witcher is a great game.
Witcher.
I started it on
PS.
No, I started on PS4, and then I was like, man, I don't want to be like in this other room playing it. I want to be like in the other room playing it. And then when it came out on the Switch, I told my boyfriend, I was like, that's the one. I had like a countdown, and as soon as it was available, I don't even know what time of night it was, but I downloaded it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go through all this shit that I did on the PS4. But games I want to see remade are like are mostly the PS1 games, like Xenogears. That game, a lot of people don't know about that game.
I don't think I did.
It came out, I think, the same year as Final Fantasy VII, but everyone loved 7 so much that they forgot about Xenogears, which is a very in-depth game which incorporates like religion and all sorts of stuff, but it's a mecha game too. So I would love for them to remake that game, Legend of Dragoon.
Dragoon. A lot of those PlayStation 1 like JRPGs and RPGs are
those
like undefeated. Lunar Silver Star Story is like hands down one of my favorites.
I wish it was on Switch.
It's coming. It's gotta come. It's got to.
And then we jumped to the Dreamcast, and then PS2.
Well, wait.
My cousin had a Dreamcast, and when she pulled out the freaking fishing rod, I was like, "Oh, this might be."
No, what about?
This might be next level. This might be next level. And then it just disappeared. I was so just playing on that Bass Pro game.
Yeah.
Game Gear.
Gear. Ooh, man.
Game Gear. I was so close to stealing my sister's friend's Game Gear at one point because I just wanted it so bad.
That shit had 2 buttons.
I wanted the Game Gear. I just like the weight of it. I just want this.
It was solid.
It was solid.
It had a backlit screen. It was way ahead of its time. Yeah.
It was so stupid, clunky, but
shout out to Brooklyn Video Games. They have a what's the word? Refurbished to where like they rewired a bunch of shit so like the output is better. They extended the battery life so it's now over 4 or 6 hours.
If you look on Instagram, people are like modding the old systems and they look so good.
Brooklyn Video Games, they do that with a lot of stuff.
They
give a lot of older games like HDMI ports. They customize them. Like the biggest thing now, they take a lot of people. They'll take the Game Boys and give it backlit screens.
I've seen that the GBAs and like even the Game Boy Colors. I've seen them. And then like even because of how popular the Switch is, a lot of third-party like computer makers are trying to make these little handheld tablets.
Yeah.
The only thing is that they're not getting the thing that Switch has is like the controllers go.
ASMR, baby.
Yeah.
I already modded my Switch.
I
got like this multicolor chrome type of casing on it.
Oh, the skins, I saw those on.
But that's meticulous though. My boyfriend did it, and like it looks like fucking Grey's Anatomy over here, like doctor shit.
Yeah, like
putting in the screws.
Operation.
Yes, it looks like a game of Operation. It's so nice.
We used to mismatch the Game Boy Advances because like we had brothers get lucky with games. Like we would just find shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like my Game Boy Pocket, we just found it somewhere. Like somebody left it.
Oh my god, the Pocket.
Picked it up, and then one time we went to Target and somebody left a Game Boy Advance with Pokemon Yellow.
Oh,
why? And the toys out. Like
no.
It was here, and then it was like a toy on top of it. And so I was like, I gave him a chance. I was like, I'm gonna leave it.
You think he still thinks
it? Of course he does.
Yeah, you think
wherever you are, shout out. You made my because my brother, he was ass out of Game Boy. But they had left it there. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be a dick. And like I already knew about karma at that age. I was like, I'm gonna walk away for 5 minutes. I just did a lap.
I'm gonna give you 5 minutes.
And then I came back and I'm like, this shit mine now.
5 minute rules over.
Exactly.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it was.
And I bet as soon as you took it, they came back like
probably did.
Like the moment you left, they were like,
You're
oh
lost.
no.
It was all white. And
it was only gone for 5 minutes.
Because me and my brother, we both had the original. I think the first ones that came out, it was the translucent like blue.
Yeah, purple. Blue, purple.
Yeah. No,
it was like the clear.
The
clear, and like we just like switched it back. So it was like, all right, now we look cool, but yeah, man. Yeah, y'all will never have any. Y'all kids, your fucking internet and your apps and your DLC bullshit. You never know what it's like.
There's no such thing as DLC back then.
Everything
that was in the game.
When you had like 10 games, you feel that clank in your pocket. You're like, yeah. What you want to hold, dog? What you want to hold? What you want to?
What you want, baby?
What you want, baby?
I got it.
I got it. $5.
Huh? What you want? Oil land? Oh, nah. I got Scorpion King. I got X-Men.
I got the Spyro games.
Spyro. Oh man.
I got Ruby. You can't play Ruby. So I'm gonna say it though. You can't play Ruby. Can't play Ruby. Can't play
that one.
Can't play Mega Man. Can't play Mega Man. No. I got Tekken.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they used to have
Tekken.
shitty ports for just the Game Boy. Yeah.
Oh, they had Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and that shit was just all pixel.
Another comedian, Misho Shakur, he said his first GBA game was Batman Rise of Senzu. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's not how you should be able to play that game. It deserved to be played on the PS2. Yeah. You should have never experienced that.
No.
Traumatized.
Exactly, man. Damn, this was dope.
It was really cool.
Yeah. Damn, we would keep going, but it's
Oh, we about an hour and a half. We are trying our best to, because I think the longest one we did was like 2.5 hours or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
I was really, I think after hour 45, I was like, he gonna keep talking. Shout out to Ebony. He's so entertaining, but it was just like, I was like, he gonna keep talking, so I need to really find that pop and be like, that's it. It's a Negro drop, that's it. I'm gonna ride.
Nope.
That's it. That's it.
No, but this has been really fun, and we appreciate you having us back in your offices.
Yeah. Last time
at this location,
office,
correct?
we're moving this year, so.
Yeah.
But on to bigger and better things, because the brand is growing, the things that they're doing are growing. It's really, really cool. Gotta check them out. Asian Crush, Retro Crush.
Retro Crush.
Yeah.
All of their platforms.
All of
Midnight Pulp, all that
if you
stuff.
like Parasite, go to Asian Crush. There's a lot of movies like that on there. Retro Crush, it's social media experience, soon to be channel. There's gonna be some stuff on that soonish.
All in the works. All in the works.
All in the works.
All in
Yeah, and then I meant to, because we were talking earlier about other Black women that do anime stuff, and there's one Black girl anime on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I follow her on Instagram and also Twitter. Y'all should follow her. She's really good. She doesn't have a podcast yet, I think, but she does a lot of the news, animated news, and she's definitely out there supporting like Black artists and within like the anime community in general. So she's pretty dope.
No, shout out to this
her.
community, people like her who are just like trying to make this shit real, like trying to actually, we're out here, we've been out here, been hiding in.
Now it's becoming thanks to
Internet.
Hot Topic.
Hot Topics.
Shout out to Hot Topics.
Yeah, making
now niggas like
shirts.
Michael B. Jordan can live.
Yeah.
We not.
While he says no.
Don't mention that name.
Naruto.
Yeah.
Wait, he said it really, really like fucked up.
Yeah, he
recently.
did. Naruto. The people like Naruto. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love Michael B. Jordan, but every time I hear him talk about Naruto, I'm like.
But the moment I
It's a
saw
little cringy.
in that Chris Brown video, the moment I saw Drake do a Kamehameha, I'm like, this nigga's reaching. This nigga's reaching.
Don't you do it? No, I will not allow it. That is one genre I will not allow you in. I swear to God, Netflix, if you put them in nothing, if you put them in no Drake.
Drake is going to be in a Netflix adaptation. Dragon Ball Z.
Go ahead. Play around my emotions. Go ahead.
They're going to make him.
I've been a subscriber.
They're going to make him Piccolo.
Don't disrespect. Piccolo.
Oh my God.
He can be Raditz or some dumb shit.
Nah, make him fucking. What's one to gain you for? Not even to gain you for. I don't even want to give him that.
He's not good for any of the characters.
No, just give him some
Drake
Freezer
hate.
Flunky.
Queen.
Yeah.
Zarbon. Make him that pretty wannabe nigga.
Nah, more appropriate. He would give him Majin Buu. He just take styles.
No.
All right. I've been Gerard.
I've been Cordero, and with us we've had Mary, the lovely Mary.
Asian Crush, Retro Crush.
Retro
Yeah,
Crush.
subscribe to all of that stuff. And this has been Negro Jump. Thank y'all so much.
Peace.
まあんたたちにしてみたら師匠の師匠なんだから教わるのに何の不足もないでしょ。